I request you all to settle down, please. We will head to the next session. We now move on to technical session 3, Beyond the Farm, Financing and Empowering Non-Farm Livelihoods Through Collectives. This session is co-curated in partnership with Samunnati. I welcome on stage Purna Pushkala, CEO, Samunnati Foundation, Group Head, Branding and Communications, Samunnati Group, to moderate the session. Welcome, ma'am. Please have a seat. Thanks. I would now like to invite on stage the panelists for the session. I welcome on stage Uma Devi Swaminathan, Managing Director, Rudy Multi-Trading Company Limited. Next, I welcome Shuvendu Raut, Vice President, Access Development Services. I also welcome Sundar Chauhan, Managing Director, IFPC Limited. I welcome on stage Samrat Roy, CEO, Magenta Finance Services Private Limited. I now hand over the session to Ms. Purna Pushkala to take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I think it's a logical extension of the previous session. In the previous session, we spoke about how FPOs are to turn unicorn. And now we are talking about beyond the farm initiatives to empower the livelihoods of farmers through collectives. And primarily, we are going to focus on financing and as well as fit-for-purpose structures that will be relevant. So over the years at Samunnati, one thing that we have seen is while engaging with farmer collectives and agri-enterprises, we have seen it's not just the farming activity, right? The income and the source of diversification largely are also coming from non-farm activities and allied activities. So this panel, we are going to be talking with practitioners who have seen models that have helped the farmers scale their income. Not so much as doubling it, but definitely income diversification through various means. So we have, Ms. Uma Devi, she represents a union form of women entrepreneurs coming together, an initiative called Rudy Ben. They primarily operate in Gujarat. We have Access, represented by Suvendu. They are an ecosystem enabler who have gone beyond multiple non-farm initiatives and has empowered livelihoods. We will hear from Sundar Chauhan, FPO, which is kind of taken a diversification route, not primarily generating income from crops, but have used an allied activity. We'll keep the suspense for now until we hear from him. And then we have another financier on the table here who's powering all micro entrepreneurs and especially women entrepreneurs. So today we are going to be hearing from practitioners. Rather than me talking about what they have done in Beyond the Farm initiative, we'll hear from each one of them for about 2 minutes, a context to what makes them relevant for this panel and what are some models that they have created. Then we'll move on to our panel discussion for the day. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us to sharing our experiences. We have 45 years of experience on women empowerment because Seva is a trade union, as she said. Why it's a trade union we have promoted? There is no voices of opportunity for the women. So the union can only give the voices. What are they expecting from the government policy maker? Wherever they are working, they should be exploited, not exploited. That is the main reason. That being a trade union, we promote sustainability. We promote the trade organization. Started from cooperative movement. Gujarat is very famous for the cooperative movement. So we have focused on cooperative, promoting cooperative. Later on, there is a rapid change in the global level from started self-help group, and then we are focusing on on the profit-making company and non-profit-making company. So when we are really wanted to sustain the women, they should be involved in the enterprise, trade activities. They are farmers, they are artisans, they are food processor. Whatever they are working, we are not going to develop a new trade. Whatever they are doing, we are going to develop the enterprise to sustain, they should be economically independent. This is our objective of the organization. But when we talk about the trade activities here, I want to focus first Rudy. Why Rudy we have selected? We have 8 lakh small and marginal farmers. You know that why farmer remain hungry? We are all taking 3 times food, but farmer is not taking because the small farmer holding capacity is not there. So they have to immediately sell. They cannot wait for the better price for in the market. This is one reason. They don't have holding capacity. They don't have access to finance. These are all the issues. The farmers are not allowed to come out of the poverty. That's why we have initiated Rudy as a small enterprise initially with the help of Unilever during the CSR program. But they are also came to sell their product. We refused to sell their product through using our women. We requested them, if you really want to do the CSR program, do something for the farmers, small and marginal farmer. They have only designed the whole supply chain management of the Rudy activities. It was unique, totally commercial activity. It's totally different from the social enterprise, social activities and the commercial enterprise. That was a very challenging for us also. However, we sustained this model, accept this model. Okay. This is the reason we have to focus on the Rudy. The farmers will be farmers, agro processing and Rudy bin. The three to work together, procurement from the farmer, processed by the women and sold by the woman. See, if you see this is a rural economic development. We can also say Gram Swaraj objective also. This is the reason we have started this. They started with only 1,000 farmers and 100 Rudy bin and 25 agro processing. Now it is more than 135 women are included, including farmers, agro processors, and this is the journey of Rudy. And in terms of turnover, we have started with 70 lakh rupees and reaching at 30 crore rupees now. Now we are also, previously they were talking to reaching 100 crore. We are also towards Rudy, towards 100 concept. We are working on that. That is a very challengeable, still we are working on that. Maybe we can share another thing. This is the background.
Thanks, ma'am. So now, I request you to keep the intro about the Beyond the Farm initiative. Ma'am has already covered a lot about what Rudy Ben is doing. We will, discuss more in the next round. Over to you, please.
So at Access, the transition has been like from the beginning in 2006, we started with farm-based livelihoods mostly. And in course of time, in a decade's time, we realized because of stagnating incomes in the farm sector, to move from farm to non-farm. So within non-farm, we started focusing on mostly women-based enterprises, all kinds of women-based enterprises. Now we focus in 3 subsectors. One is handloom and hand crafted textiles. Second one is food and related enterprises. And third one is an innovative window for innovative projects like in mobility and tourism. So these are the 3 main sectors that we work in. Now we have footprints in 14 states of the country, but 6 or 7 are our core, like Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, West Bengal, Assam, Uttar Pradesh. So these are more, footprints are more than other states. Currently working with more than 4 lakh small producers. Out of that, around 50,000, 60,000 would be in the non-farm sector.
Thank you. Samrat ji, over to you. Oh, sorry. Sundar ji.
इन्विक्टस फार्मर प्रोड्यूसर कंपनी लिमिटेड, इसकी शुरुआत हम लोगों ने 2016 में की थी। नाबार्ड के द्वारा ये सपोर्टेड फार्मर प्रोड्यूसर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है। इसमें हम लोगों ने सबसे पहले एक जो प्रोडक्ट है हमारा, जो कि अभी नॉर्मली जितने भी मैं अदर एफपीओ से मिला हूँ, मुझे कोई ऐसा एफपीओ नहीं मिला है जो कि पिग फार्मिंग पे काम कर रहा हो। लेकिन हमारा ये एफपीओ हम लोगों ने पिग फार्मिंग कम्युनिटी को लेकर के बनाया था, और अगर आप मानकर चलें तो एक बहुत बड़ा टर्नओवर हमारा उत्तर प्रदेश का कहें तो मोर देन 30 to 35 लाख पिग प्रोड्यूस होता है हमारे उत्तर प्रदेश में। अगर पैन इंडिया की बात करते हैं तो और भी ज़्यादा मतलब हम लोग देखते हैं, लेकिन मार्केट बहुत ही संकुचित है इसकी। लेकिन उसके बावजूद उस कम्युनिटी को ध्यान में रख करके ये एफपीओ बनाया 2016 में। उसके साथ साथ अभी हम लोग पिग फार्मिंग के अलावा सीड प्रोसेसिंग कर रहे हैं, वीट एंड पैडी एंड मस्टर्ड की। फिर और हमने डाइवर्सिफिकेशन किया, नेचुरल फार्मिंग कर रहे हैं। साथ के साथ हम देसी काऊ के पालन कर रहे हैं, जिसमें गिर, थार पारकर और हमारा क्या नाम है साहिवाल काउज है। तो इंटीग्रेटेड प्रोजेक्ट बनाने की कोशिश है, और इसी के साथ साथ हमने मार्केट को किसी और के ऊपर डिपेंड नहीं किया है, क्योंकि एफपीओ बनाने का मेन मकसद यही होता है कि आपको बिचौलिया को ख़त्म करना है। कस्टमर मतलब आपका किसान डायरेक्ट कस्टमर तक पहुँचे। अगर एफपीओ भी उसमें इस मतलब उस एफपीओ भी वही रोल निभा रहा है कि उसको भी बिचौलिया ढूंढने की ज़रूरत पड़ रही है, तो शायद कहीं ना कहीं हम अपने मकसद से उसमें हट गए हैं। तो अभी फ़िलहाल हम लोगों ने मोर देन 26 प्रोडक्ट हमारा एफपीओ बना रहा है। अन्न ब्रह्म हमारा प्रोडक्ट है। भूसरी फार्म फूड के नाम से हम लोगों की फ्रेंचाइजी मॉडल है, जिसमें हम मीट प्रोसेसिंग भी करते हैं। साथ के साथ हम अपने फार्मर्स के लिए मार्केट अवेलेबल करा रहे हैं आसाम के अंदर। थैंक यू।
नमस्कार सभी को। मेरा नाम है सम्राट रॉय और मैं सीईओ मेजेंटा फाइनेंस। धन्यवाद सभी को जो आज इस अपॉर्चुनिटी को मिला है, जो हम शेयर कर सकता हूँ जो एज ए माइक्रो फाइनेंस हम लोग क्या करते हैं। मेजेंटा जो है खुशहाली के प्रतीक है, ये इसका कलर का नाम है। लेकिन बीइंग अ माइक्रो फाइनेंस, हम लोग फाइनेंस तक लिमिट रहे, ये हमारा सोच नहीं रहा है कभी। वी आर रीचिंग अराउंड 20,000 वीमेन इन यूपी, हरियाणा एंड पंजाब। But we always see that microfinance is giving, disbursing the money and getting the collection and somehow supporting the entrepreneurs. लेकिन रूट कॉज तक हम नहीं जाते, और वो तब पता चलता है जब कोई क्राइसिस आता है, और वहाँ पे बिगर नंबर ऑफ एनपीए एंड राइट ऑफ एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स हैपन। तो वही सोच आज जो हम इस सेशन में आए, तो हमारे पास वो 3 सोच लेके हम आए थे। जो एक है हाउ वी कैन सपोर्ट द एनपीए क्लाइंट्स एंड द राइट ऑफ क्लाइंट्स, बिकॉज दोज आर द पीपल who can't get any loan and out of credit line हो जाएंगे, मेन क्रेडिट लाइन से। फिर से वो लोग एक्सप्लॉयट होंगे बाय डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ मनी लेंडर्स एंड अदर्स, और वो भी लाइवलीहुड को इम्पैक्ट करता है। सेकेंड, और इस एनपीए को हम लोग राइट ऑफ क्लाइंट को हमने एड्रेस करने के लिए एक मॉडल क्रिएट किया जिसको कहते हैं बेस्ट, दैट इज बैक स्टॉपिंग एंटरप्रेन्योर सपोर्ट। सेकेंड, हमने जो रोल हम देख रहे हैं और जो हमने काम कर रहे हैं जिस पे, जिसको कहते हैं बी वाइज, बैक स्टॉपिंग वीमेन इनिशिएटिव फॉर सोशल एंटरप्राइज, जिसमें हम वीमेन को 360 डिग्री एंगल में हम लोग उनको सपोर्ट करेंगे। दैट मीन्स वी विल गिव ए लोन, विल गिव सपोर्ट थ्रू कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग एंड ट्रेनिंग्स, एंड हाउ दे शी कैन एबल टू स्केल अप हर बिजनेस एंड कैन क्रिएट द एसेट थ्रू द फाइनेंसिंग। इट डोंट बिकम ए लाइबिलिटी बट एसेट फॉर हर। और थर्ड, जो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है, माइक्रो फाइनेंस इज फंडिंग मैक्सिमम टू 75 to 80% टू एग्री एलाइड बिजनेस एंड विच इज़ मेनली फॉर द डेयरी। और आज अगर आप देखेंगे डेयरी प्रोडक्ट, डेयरी में 50 मिलियन टन के आसपास का बढ़ोतरी हुआ हाफ ए डिकेड में, एंड मिल्क का वॉल्यूम बढ़ चुका, यील्ड बढ़ चुका, लेकिन फार्मर्स वहीं पे है, उनके इनकम में कोई चेंजेस नहीं आए, एंड दैट इज़ वाई, एंड दैट इज़ द थिंग्स वी आर एड्रेसिंग नाउ, हाउ वी कैन create a better income for the farmers who are dealing with the dairy. So these are the 3 things which we are looking forward. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think with this introduction, it is clear that these are 4 different practical perspectives that we are bringing onto our panel today, where the definition of collective is varied. We have a FPO which is registered as a farmer producer company. that works with farmers as shareholders and takes the initiative beyond agriculture. We have, a trade union as a form of a collective where women come together to build the rural economy. We have ecosystem coming together as a collective where people come together as individual entrepreneurs and get aggregated through an enabler. And of course, we have a NBFC MFI that supports these entrepreneurs as a collective to establish businesses. So I think one of the key points that Mr. Samrat mentioned is also people who have lost hope by becoming a delinquent customer, how can they nurture them as an entrepreneur and how can they create a livelihood for them? We'll start with Invictus first. सर ये जब आपने डाइवर्सिफिकेशन किया, हम सिर्फ अभी आपके पिग फार्मिंग के बारे में बात करेंगे क्योंकि पिछले पैनल में हमने एफपीओ के बारे में बहुत सारा बात कर लिया. अभी ये पिग फार्मिंग और आपके विमेन फार्मर्स, तो उनको एफपीओ में लाने के लिए और उनको लाइक इनकरेज करने के लिए कि ये सब करना है एंड दिस कैन बिकम अ बिजनेस स्ट्रीम, आपको क्या क्या करना पड़ा एज अ एफपीओ? और ये सब करने में व्हाट वर द चैलेंजेस? वाज इट ओनली फिनेंस, वाज इट कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग? व्हाट आर द गैप्स दैट यू ऑब्जर्व्ड व्हेन यू वर एनकरेजिंग पीपल, स्पेशली योर फार्मर मेंबर्स, टू गेट इनटू दिस डाइवर्सिफाइड एक्टिविटी?
देखिए, जब हमने इस कमोडिटी को चूज़ किया था, तो जैसे कि अभी मैंने पहले ही बताया कि मैंने पैन इंडिया में बहुत सारे एफपीओ से मिला हूँ और इत्तेफाक से नाबार्ड ने मुझे 9 डिस्ट्रिक्ट का रिसोर्स सपोर्ट पर्सन भी बनाया एफपीओज को कंसल्ट करने के लिए. लेकिन अभी तक मुझे कोई एफपीओ सूअर पालन को लेकर के, अब देखिए मैंने जब सूअर बोला है तो एक सेंटीमेंट क्रिएट होता है हमारे इंडिया के अंदर, क्योंकि एक सोशल टैबू बना हुआ है. हमने बचपन से उसे एनिमल को एक गलत तरीके से पलते हुए देखा है. तो किसी का ध्यान उस पर जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि एक वो कम्युनिटी जो कि हमारे इंडिया में एक बहुत बड़ा रोल अदा करती है, उस कम्युनिटी को और उसके बिजनेस को इस तरीके से, इस नज़रिए से देखा जा रहा है जो कि सबसे ज़्यादा प्रॉफिटेबल बिजनेस है. अब कोई भी मतलब आप इस चीज़ में मेरे को करेक्ट कर सकते हैं, मैं अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर कर रहा हूँ कि किसी भी एनिमल हस्बेंड्री में, ख़ास तौर से लार्ज एनिमल में, सबसे ज़्यादा प्रोडक्शन पिग, सबसे ज़्यादा एफसीआर फीड कन्वर्जन रेशियो, जो कि मीट कन्वर्ट होता है फीड खा करके, पिग. सबसे कम समय में सबसे जल्दी तैयार होने वाला पिग. सबसे कम डिजीज किस एनिमल में आती हैं? पिग. स्टेबल मार्केट पिग. आपको प्रोडक्ट को कोई टाइम लाइन नहीं है कि अगर मार्केट डाउन है तो अभी बेचना है, वो भी पिग. अब जब इतनी सारी चीज़ें इसमें बेनिफिट्स की हैं, तो वाई वी पीपल थिंक अबाउट द अदर बिजनेसेस? वो इसलिए क्योंकि समाज क्या कहेगा. अब मुझे इस चीज़ को जब 2015 में, एक्चुअली मैं विप्रो टेक्नोलॉजी में जॉब किया हुआ हूँ, तो 2009 में अचानक मेरे को क्लिक किया था. तो मैंने इस कम्युनिटी को टारगेट करके 3 हम लोगों ने इनोवेशन किए मैम. उस वक्त एफपीओ के जो चैलेंजेस थे ये थे कि इनको हम लोग किस तरीके से एफपीओ के साथ जोड़ें. मार्केट अच्छी नहीं थी क्योंकि लोकल मार्केट थी, लेकिन इसकी मार्केट है आसाम में. अब अच्छा, सोशल टैबू, अदर कास्ट को हम इस काम के अंदर ला रहे हैं तो बड़ा टैबू बन के क्रिएट होता था. बैंकर्स इसमें फाइनेंस नहीं कर सकते थे, छोटे स्केल पे करोगे तो प्रॉफिट नहीं निकलेगा. इसमें हमने फुल एफर्ट किया. हमारे एफपीओ ने उन्हें मार्केट अवेलेबल कराई, जितना भी एनिमल उन्होंने रेडी किया वो एनिमल हम लोगों ने अच्छे रेट में परचेज किया. साथ के साथ हमने सेमिनार्स किए, उन लोगों को एक प्लेटफॉर्म दिया. मैं एग्जांपल दूंगा, जैसे अभी ये हम फोटो देख रहे हैं, तो हम में से कोई नहीं चाहेगा शायद ऐसा फार्मर बनना. क्यों? क्योंकि फार्मर का सेंटीमेंट हमारे माइंड में क्रिएट होता है एक, कि फार्मर ऐसा होता है, गरीब होता है. फार्मर नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता है भाई. वो मजदूर होता है, फार्मिंग में भी वो मजदूर होता है, वो फार्मर नहीं होता है. फार्मर अच्छा होता है, उसके गाल लाल होते हैं, वो देसी घी खाता है, उसकी बीवी सोना पहनती है, वो इंडिपेंडेंट है. तो हमें उस वाले फार्मर को एटलीस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म पर लेकर के हमें इम्प्रूव करना है. तो वो हमने अपनी इस वाले काम को लेकर के हमने उन लोगों के अंदर वो कॉन्फिडेंस भरा. आज हमारे साथ 625 फार्मर्स तो शेयर होल्डर है, लेकिन बताते हुए खुशी होगी कि मोर देन 10,000 फार्मर्स हमारे साथ इनडायरेक्टली जुड़े हुए हैं, जो कि पैन इंडिया हैं. तो हम लोगों के लिए चैलेंज स्टार्टिंग में आया, लेकिन आज के टाइम पे वो चैलेंज हमारे लिए मतलब एक सीख का जरिया बना और हमने बहुत ही अच्छी तरीके से इस काम को बढ़ाया. और हमने अब आप लोगों से एक निवेदन मैं करूंगा, शायद बाद में टाइम मिले ना मिले, कि हमारे फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस को उस काम पे ज़्यादा फोकस करना है, एक जो टैबू बना हुआ है उस पर मत फोकस कीजिए, वो क्या निकाल कर दे सकता है हमें उस पर सोचना है। हमारे पास, मैंने अभी पहले वाले उसमें बोला कि मोर देन 32 लाख पिग प्रोड्यूस यूपी में होते हैं, आज से 10 साल पहले का डेटा है, शायद अब ज़्यादा होते होंगे, लेकिन एक भी स्लॉटर हाउस नहीं है। लेकिन अंग्रेजों के ज़माने में 1885 में अलीगढ़ में स्लॉटर हाउस था मैडम, तो उस टाइम पे स्लॉटर हाउस हो सकता है, आज के टाइम पे स्लॉटर हाउस नहीं हो सकता है। लाइव एनिमल को हमें नॉर्थ ईस्ट अगर ले जाना पड़ता है तो लॉट्स ऑफ चैलेंजेस वी हैव टू फेस, लेकिन अगर स्लॉटर हाउस होगा तो वी कैन गो फॉर द एक्सपोर्ट। एक्सपोर्ट बोल जाइए, दिल्ली एनसीआर के अंदर मोर देन 41 5 स्टार होटल्स हैं, और मेरे यहाँ से मोर देन 100 3 स्टार 4 स्टार होटल्स होंगे। ये इंपोर्ट करते हैं सर, पोर्क इंपोर्ट किया जाता है हमारे इंडिया के अंदर, जबकि मैं कह रहा हूँ ये आपके बराबर की स्टेट में इतना ज़्यादा पिग प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है, लेकिन सेंटीमेंट क्रिएट किया है कि गंदे तरीके से पाला जाता होगा। आई एम इन्वाइटिंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू, प्लीज़ कम टू आवर फार्म। हम बहुत ही हाइजीन तरीके से पालते हैं, ड्राई फीड एनिमल खाता है, अच्छे टेम्परेचर में रहता है। इवन आप जो गाय भैंस को वो फार्मर उतना अच्छा टेम्परेचर नहीं दे पाता, उतना अच्छा हम लोग टेम्परेचर उसे दे करके रियरिंग कर रहे हैं। तो हमें आपसे बस ये निवेदन है, जो भी फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन है या कंसल्टेंट हैं या डिजिटल मार्केटिंग की बात कर रहे हैं, कि आप इस सेक्टर पर फोकस कीजिए। विद इन 1 ईयर देश के डेवलपमेंट में बहुत अच्छा स्कोप हम क्रिएट करके दिखा देंगे। एक लास्ट पॉइंट प्लीज ऐड कर रहा हूँ मैं, कि चाइना और अमेरिका, यूएसए एंड रसिया बड़े कंज्यूमर होने के साथ साथ पोर्क के एक्सपोर्टर हैं। अब ऐसा नहीं है कि वो एक्सपोर्टर इसलिए हैं क्योंकि उन्हें अच्छा लगता है पिग पालना, क्योंकि वर्ल्ड के अंदर सबसे ज़्यादा जो मीट यूज हो रहा है वो पोर्क यूज हो रहा है। लेकिन इंडिया के अंदर हम इस चीज़ को थोड़ा सा समझें, उसे अंडरस्टैंड करें। मिल्क अगर आर्टिफिशियल हम लोग खरीद रहे हैं, हमारे संजीव जी मित्र हैं, तो आपने बोला 20 रुपीज़ पर लीटर, हमारा दूध ज़्यादा था उस टाइम पे, शायद अब 40 हो गया होगा, 50 हो गया होगा। लेकिन सेम कंडीशन में डिमांड एंड सप्लाई का आपके दूध में फॉर्मूला नहीं लगता है। क्यों? डिमांड आज भी बहुत ज़्यादा है लेकिन सप्लाई बहुत कम है, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी आर्टिफिशियल मिल्क को प्योर मिल्क करके बेचा जाता है। उसे एटलीस्ट हम हटा दें तो आपका दूध भी अच्छे रेट में, मेरे हिसाब से 200 रुपये लीटर भी लोग ढूंढते फिरेंगे उस दूध को। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, thank you. So we specifically, requested Invictus to share their thoughts because this is a very unique value chain that they are trying to build. And what we heard is that it's not just a beyond the farm livelihood, but it is also a great revenue generator for the collective themselves. So moving on to the Rudy initiative, as part of the introduction, we have already heard from her on how they work. For every set of farmers, there is a Rudy Ben who's buying from them. There is a primary processing that happens, and then they are the ones who are selling it back into the village, community, and they are actually nurturing a local economy. So now, ma'am, we would like to hear very specifically around what were the, challenges that you had to face and how you unlocked the Rudy Ben as a concept. How did they come about as an entrepreneur and powered by a trade union? Because this is one important form of beyond the farm initiative that we would like to showcase here.
Actually, challenges still we are facing. Challenges is a part of life, even for us also. So challenge is going to be there. We have to come out of the challenges, being the experience. Issues also creating by the people, surrounding people, that also we have to focus. This is a social enterprise, we have to face a lot of challenges. However, our focus will be sustain the farmers, agro processor and women. That is our main Rudy Ben. That is our main objective. So as far as Rudy Ben, we are talking about the Rudy Ben, actually we are put in the retailer position. Suppose if she is selling more than the retailer target, she can become a distributor also. In that way, commercial structure also, we are not using the word distributor and dealers because we want to use our own name, Rudy Ben. She has to get the identify in the market. What is the role of Rudy Ben? First thing, as a Rudy Ben, able to talk with the people, talk about the product, talk about her own life also, talk about what is the expectation from the sales, her own customer. This is also designed by Unilever only. They called it Shakti Amma project. So similarly, we are also adopting the same thing. However, we have succeeded in the Rudy Ben. Rudy Ben is the heart of the business, because she is the main role of sales and marketing. So we are Rudy Ben is very important for the Rudy growth. If Rudy Ben is getting the income, regular income, automatically agro process and farmers also will get the income. That is our successful model. This is an innovative model also. Further, Rudy Ben is, we have to train them as a independent entrepreneur also. What is the role, how to sell their product, how to create the customer, what would be her target based on the income, minimum base. She should get minimum basis also through their own activity. These are all the business model we have to train them, and then we have to make them as a Rudy Ben. This is our approach and target. This causes able to expand our activity from one state to one district to 14 districts, one state to 4 states. Initially started with 100 Rudy Ben. With 1,000 farmers. Now it is 25,000 farmers and 10,000 Rudy Ben. To sustain the 25,000 farmers, we needed 10,000 Rudy. This is the linkages. Market linkage, supply chain, whatever we can, value chain, whatever we can say. But Rudy Ben is very important for that. Initially, we started with the 1 crore rupees. Now, the 30 crores we reached. Suppose if we want to reach 100 crores, we have to cover the whole India. India as a whole, more than 6 lakh villages are there we have to cover. We have to more than 20 lakhs farmers we have to cover. All these things we have to plan properly and budgeted properly. However, whatever we are doing, we have promoted a limited company now. So we have to take loan. A shareholder is the limited shareholder because not listed company. But however, we have to take loan only. Previous finance, she was talking of the importance of finance. That is very important. I also agree with her, because without money we cannot do anything. But at the same time, we have to discipline using the money, very efficiently using the money. Financial management also part of the program of the Rudy growth. This is our basic experience.
Thank you. So I think one fundamental thing that is common in both what we heard from Invictus as well as from Rudy Ben is both of these are kind of one of the kind initiatives, the first time initiative, where they are still uncovering challenges, they are still exploring possibilities. But the fact remains that you have to get out of the comfort zone, and it is not just about one facet of nurturing the livelihood skill. There is a component of finance, there is a component of capacity building, there is a component of financial management and planning that needs to come in. Where in Invictus case, they had to overcome a social taboo to make pig farming a prestigious line of business. In the Rudy Ben model, they are still uncovering what is an effective ratio. For 25,000 farmers, 10,000 Rudy Ben, probably still they need to unlock more efficiency and effectiveness. So now that leads us to the role and the experience of Access, because they have gone beyond farmers and farming, and they have gone beyond the livelihood other opportunities, especially the sectors that you mentioned. What are some common things that you see that relates to the collectives that we have heard before? And what are some unique challenges in those lines of business? And how has Access unlocked, and what can be the empowering initiative?
Thank you, Punna. So, you see, most of the things that business functions require will be similar across, whether it is farm, non-farm, financial, anything would be similar. But what is your focus, that is important. If you just study or look around the nano-entrepreneurship models around the country, and especially the NRLM, SRLM structures, the CSR modes of self-help groups and all, what do you find? All these, almost all the SHGs now are doing some kind of business. A little enterprise someone would have started, either at individual level or group level or cooperative level, some kind of businesses. But if you see, 90% or more than that would be faceless, nameless, and aspirationless. So they would be doing certain things only for the sake of it, because someone has given some money. So little thing you start, and within a few years you close down, or not close even, just for the sake of it, it runs. So at Access, we had realized it early. So we thought of, like Rudy is doing, like an institutional setup, a little big thing. So we chose to focus on branding. So we believe that as corporates need brands, the community also needs a brand to be recognized, to have some kind of a sustainability plan, so that if they have a product, if they have a service, the society or the consumer base should know how to go back to them. And there is a potential or a dream to look for. So that is why we started focusing on brands of the communities. If we do a food processing, we will call it not a local colloquial name, but we'll choose a interesting modern name like a Jing and Jest or Restaurant Spike, which will be recognized and well appreciated in the right kind of markets that we're looking forward to. We are looking forward to bringing the rural produce to the urban market and not selling there only. Because if you analyze the kind of product, the kind of pickles and papads that sell in the village level or a block place, and if you do an economic analysis, they hardly get anything. So I'll give you one example. When we started a project in Badmer, the deserts of Badmer, there are little hamlets, very good skills. The women have skills in applique work. When we did the value chain, we understood that for all their hard work through the day, they get 100 rupees or less for a day. The whole day's work, they get less than 100 rupees, which is even less than half of minimum wages for Rajasthan. Now what do we do? So we came up with a brand name and a product. So that those applique skills, which they were earlier supplying to these little agents coming from the town to the village, collecting their products and selling it in the market, getting all the benefits. So we thought that there should be an enterprise, there should be a brand which the women can run themselves. So the brand is called Desert Pastoral. It's a nice name to start with, and we invested in the product itself with new designs, which appeals to the urban consumer, and they are now selling around 1 crore rupees annual turnover within 2-3 years' time. And they are getting 400 to 500 rupees per day for their efforts. I mean, only by tweaking around that. Obviously, when I will not trivialize that it is only by making a brand. So a brand is not about a name. So anyone can give a name, but a brand is a lot of effort. It is about standardization, it is about skills, highest levels of skills. It's about SOPs, it's about investing in people's abilities, it's about building an entrepreneurial ecosystem. It's a lot of other things. I mean, marketing, communication, it's a lot of things. So, but that is the role of a facilitator. So if we are there, if a donor is there, if government is there, we should rather focus on making them connect to a platform, giving them a name in the market so that they can have a dream. So that is what we focus in, and different kinds of other kinds of, like in textile, we have in food, all different kinds of. In textile, we call it Living Looms of India. So which is a nice name to start with. At least if you ask someone, they connect to looms is there, living looms. So someone will connect to it. There is a revival story, there is a consumer story, there there is a rural story, but coming to a modern market. So this is how we weave the entrepreneurial ecosystem to work for the poor.
Thank you. So I think, one very common point between, what the Rudy initiative is and what Access is doing is giving a brand identity so that that brand identity can actually create the necessary social capital in addition to the trade capital. At Samunati, one thing we have always believed in is the social capital, the kind of trust that they build in the ecosystem, basis which, financial calls can be taken. That takes me to, Samratji. So now it's not easy, right? A Rudy Ben probably catering to about a small set of farmers, but as an entrepreneur, to, somebody like what Access mentioned, the brands are created, but it is all still individual entrepreneurs that are supplying to the brand. So funding them. And not just, these brands. There are also, the tailors that we see, the kirana shop owners that we see, the roadside businesses and the other vendors who kind of take up non-farm livelihoods. Because when we say non-farm livelihoods, we are not just talking about farmers. We are also talking beyond farmers, people who come from these, rural backgrounds but are getting into other activities. We ourselves have seen our FPO members getting into agarbatti making, papad making, and they get some support from the collective, but not everybody gets a support from a formal financial player. And that's where they turn to a NBFC MFI. So what are some de-risking mechanisms which will make financing these initiatives possible?
So Purnaji, the question is very relevant because for us also it is a challenging because to support the entrepreneurs, we also take financing. And financing is costing very high. Nowadays, if you see that you want entrepreneurs, but you don't want to give at a very good rate, you want to give at such a rate, the entrepreneurs fall down, and as you write in your paper or somewhere, that it become a debt trap. But it's not a debt trap, we are trying our best. So here we come that we need blended finance. Because blended finance is one of the way how we can reduce the cost and actually support the women to become and feel pride of herself of doing something. First thing. Second thing, that is why we call this one of our model which is Be Wise. That is backstopping women initiative for social enterprise. This is one of the model which we have explored and we are moving it, which will be in future disrupting the existing distribution channel. Because if you see a startup, they can't scale up because the normal distribution channel will not allow you to do it. So we want to create such an ecosystem that we will create and people will run their startup and scale up the business where we will give financing and you will be allowed and get an ecosystem to scale up the business, which Rudy Ben has told. Because if you see one of a stall called Kashish, they are producing, this masalas. And if you ask them how much kilo, it is 50 kilo. But how it can be 50 lakh kilo? They can't say because distribution channel will not allow it. So that is why our Be Wise model will support this. And of course, we as a NBFC MFI, we are also challenging for the financing, but we are putting way how we can support the startups and the foundations and the people who really want to do something and have a sustainable livelihood. And if you say de-risking, we are creating a Be Wise model where the women will be not doing one product, but multiple products. And one of the products which is supported by one of our very good friend called Krimanshi Feeds. They are the climate smart technology feeds, which is not only giving good health to the cattle, but also is also a climate smart because it's reducing the methane emission. So these are the products which is also entrepreneurs creating the livelihood, economy, and be part of changing the climate. So this is the way we are looking forward.
Thank you. So, it's established that the NBFC MFIs can also play enabling role than just financing. But now, this is something I'm putting you all on the spot. We focused on women so far, but when we talk non-farm livelihoods, it's not limited to women alone. So we'll probably take a quick 1-minute discussion around how can we make this gender neutral, while of course there is a lot of emphasis on women, but whatever is equally applicable for women is applicable for men as well. And especially from beyond the farm dimension, the initial reason why we stuck to women was because women are unpaid laborers in their own field, and for them to get some income, they cannot be laborers in their own field. They have to be entrepreneurs in their own style, whichever is the profession and the passion that they choose to pursue. But having said that, I would like to hear from Invictus now, because when we talk about pig farming and the FPO, while of course women play a larger role, there are men. So how do you engage men, and how do you nurture some of the non-farm livelihood activities for men?
हमारे एफपीओ में अप्रॉक्स 222 महिला सदस्य हैं, और ये जितने भी महिला सदस्य हैं हमारे एफपीओ की, हम लोग ज़्यादातर फोकस करते हैं जो स्मॉल फार्म होल्डर हैं उन लोगों को। तो नॉर्मली एक अगर हम नॉर्थ ईस्ट की बात करते हैं तो वहाँ छोटे छोटे लोग मतलब घरों में पालते हैं, तो उन लोगों को हम लोगों की तरफ से एक ख़ास तौर से दीपक जी का मैं धन्यवाद दूंगा कि इन्होंने मुझे एक आइडिया दिया था कि अपने फार्मर्स को आप 5 एनिमल्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करो, वो रियरिंग करेंगे, उन्हें आप कंसल्टेंसी प्रोवाइड करो, देन आप उनसे बाय बैक कर लो। तो आपका जो प्रोडक्शन हाउस है वो बेशक छोटा है, लेकिन उस कंडीशन में आप बहुत ज़्यादा प्रोडक्ट रेडी कर सकते हो। तो वो चीज़ हम लोगों ने किसको टारगेट करके किया? फीमेल्स को, जो हमारी महिलाएं हैं, और उन महिलाओं के द्वारा अच्छा स्कोप दिया गया, क्योंकि उन जो पहले ट्रेडिशनल तरीके से वो लोग पाल रहे थे वो हम लोगों ने बिल्कुल बंद किया। उन्हें प्रॉपर तरीके से एक सिस्टमाइज तरीके से हम लोगों ने वो चैनल प्रोवाइड किया, उन्हें फीड अवेलेबल कराई, वेटनरी सर्विसेज अवेलेबल कराई, मार्केट अवेलेबल कराई, साथ के साथ जो नॉर्मली डेली रूटीन में वेटनरियन उनके यहाँ पर जा सकते हैं, विजिट कर सकते हैं, वो सारी चीज़ें। तो इस कंडीशन में वो महिला भी घर पे रहते हुए भी, अगर हम ईयरली बोलते हैं तो 1 लाख मैक्सिमम ईयरली इनकम उनका हमारे एफपीओ के साथ जुड़ करके वो बना है।
तो मेरा ये आपसे पूछना है कि ये सब तो महिलाओं के लिए ठीक है, पर आपने वो एफपीओ में जो कुछ भी पुरुष हैं, जो कुछ भी लाइक मेल हैं, उनको कैसे इन्वॉल्व किया?
उनको तो मैंने बताया कि जब उस टाइम पे हम लोग देख रहे थे कि ये जो कम्युनिटी है या ये इस एनिमल को पालने वाले जो लोग हैं वो थोड़े से डिमोरलाइज थे, क्योंकि ये अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर काउंट किया जाता है। बस हम लोगों ने उस टाइम पर इस चीज़ को प्रमोट किया, एक उनके अंदर आशा की किरण जगाई। उस आशा की किरण के साथ साथ हम लोगों ने जो हमने उनके साथ कमिटमेंट की थी उन कमिटमेंट्स को फुलफिल किया। आज के समय में वो सभी लोग हैप्पी हैं एफपीओ के साथ जुड़ के।
थैंक यू। तो आई थिंक व्हाट हैज़ नाउ हैपेंड इज सुंदर जी ने मेरा अगला सवाल का भी जवाब दे दिया, तो उनको स्किप करके हम आगे जाएंगे रूडी बेन के पास। तो मैम, व्हाट आर द वेरियस social barriers that the Rudy Ben had to overcome to establish themselves as an entrepreneur? And again, the same question. There are men who are active earning members. They have their own aspirations. So how did these women, move from being an unemployed laborer or in their own household to become an entrepreneur? We spoke about capacity building and everything that Seva is already supporting them with. Cultural barriers and the community level challenges. What are some of those things that we specifically should talk about when we talk about empowering non-farm livelihoods?
This is a very big, very good question. We face a lot of challenges to bring out of the home the women. That was a very big challenges for that. Selling this another totally different for the rural people, because the women, young girls are not allowed to go out of the house also. This is a cultural basis. Still it is going. However, we train the women in that way. When they start, initially when they start, they are not able to sell much as per the target given by Unilever and by us. But when they learn to earning the money, then they show the interest. They also get the support from the family also. Because initially it was 100 rupees, 200 rupees they were earning. all of a sudden the sales has been increased. When the sales increase, their commission also increases. So they started, they able to sell more than the target, sometime up to 1 lakh rupees, 1.5 lakh rupees also. We have given the incentive system also, encourage the women. This causes change in the culture, the family trust us, so they allowed to sell the instead they also supported the women. We got to carry the goods. It is not possible for the women also. Some of the women also buy their own scooty and carry the goods and sell the product. Some of the women hire the tempo and put it in the they are collective also, Rudiben collective also selling. This is a very good example for us also, for world also. Any women can do anything. That was a cultural change, culture in the positive change. They are all afraid because the women will go wrong way. That's what cultural is controlling them. But when they are getting the income and the women are getting the recognition as a the name of Rudy men, that is a major changes in them. Apart from the Rudy also, we want to explain here, Rudy not only the business, social enterprise, whatever we call, this is a food security of rural women, rural householder, because Rudy is giving the pure product, affordable price, but when they are buying the same product in the shop, they are not cheated by the woman. Everyone knows this. This is the major difference when the Rudy been selling the product, at the same time other product are selling. This is the way of empowering. We also learned from the Rudy Ben. We are training, but we also learned a lot of things from the farmers and agro pros and also Rudy Ben. They are expert then now. They can take, they are the owners and managers of as we said now, they are the owners and managers of their own trade.
Thank you. So now, over to access. So one point I would like to understand is when, handloom is still considered as a very traditional, women-based business, but you also mentioned pink rickshaws when we were connecting earlier. So if you could talk about what were some, empowerment initiatives that had to be undertaken, because beyond finance, because I think, rickshaws are the only easiest thing that financier will be able to support because there is an underlying asset and easily mortgageable. So what were some cultural barriers there and empowerment initiatives or capacity building, skill building initiatives that you had to undertake to make it happen?
Thank you. So this is a program like very close to my heart and whole of Access, one of our most successful programs. So you started talking about doubling farmers' income, right? Doubling farmers' income or any nano entrepreneur's income is a distant dream for most people, right? But in this project, within 4 years, we have seen not doubling, it's like 5-fold income increase of these nano entrepreneurs that they came, when they came in, they joined this initiative, they were hardly anywhere. Like almost all of them were zero income to start with. So they come together as rickshaw riders. So when we started in Jaipur, it is called Pink City Rickshaw Company. So they are not transport providers, they are tourism service providers. So they learned rickshaw driving, then some entrepreneurship, some soft skill training and all, and they were ready for the job. And the kind of service they provide, only 4 hours they charge 3,000 rupees, 4,000 rupees for 4-hour rides. There are curated rides in the city, in the heritage rides, food rides, shopping rides, different kinds of very well curated rides, but they charge good amount of money, and they are now, most of them earning 25 to 30,000 rupees per month, which is like real good aspirational income for them to start with from zero. So any kind of enterprise can have its own growth story. This is what we saw, that one success led to now many successes. So Pink City Rickshaw Company's own clients in different countries, so they came forward to support it in other cities. Now Pink City is in Varanasi called Holy City Rickshaws. Now in Udaipur called Lake City Rickshaws. This year we're starting in Agra will be called Taj City Rickshaws. So it's in the ethos of that city. The branding is changed a little bit to suit that city, and then the clientele. I mean, the rides, the curated circuits are different, but the whole model is same, and the income is like, it's like proper job or kind of a kind of aspirational job for the women who come together. So, but I'm saying this is not the only thing that we can do. We have not even Art Access or anywhere else. We are just now started to do things. So this is one successful model, but why can't we do the same in food? I mean, if one particular pack of biscuits when we started, so it was selling 50 rupees per packet, like cookies. And same cookies, you pack it well, you brand it well, and take it to a 5-star hotel or a standalone boutique store. It sells for 250 rupees. 5-fold increase in revenue just by making it work, all the business functionalities. I will go back. Again, so the kind of enterprise is not important. How you place it, how you position it, how you market it, that is the most important thing. So yeah, Pink City is one model, but we should look for many such models in different sectors.
So irrespective of whether it is, a farmer producer company or a trade unionized collective, or a bunch of entrepreneurs aggregated by an enabler like Access, one thing is very clear that there has to be a local community presence and a community brand building for the non-farm livelihoods to take off. So that takes me to the last question, and to Samratji. When you already mentioned that there is a need for the financiers to take a relook, a blended finance and all of that, and that's asked from, I think, even players like Samunati, right, for to bring down the cost of funds. Well, that will still remain a distant dream. What are some here and now ecosystem enablers that can actually make financing more fit for purpose, so that more and more such non-farm livelihoods can be financed, and more people can be covered? Just a note to the organizers, we started 15 minutes late. Give us 5 minutes to wrap up.
पूर्णा जी, आपने जो क्वेश्चन पूछा है, जैसे मैंने पहले ही बोला, जो see all NBFC and microfinance are financing. So how we can make difference? So that the philanthropist lenders or blended finance can be attracted for the benefit of the people. So what I can say, like as I told you, I shared to the whole forum, that BUI is one of the model where women will be initiated for a social enterprise, not only to the financing, but giving training and capacity building, and how women can scale up their business. And one of the business model which we have seen, and which is a very sustainable livelihood, it is a dairy. Dairy is one of the livelihood that every house have. But if you see a farmers, they start with one buffalo, take a loan, and end with one buffalo. So how the livelihood sustain. There we have to see how the fodder management, how the feed management, how the health of the cattle can be taken care. So in this way, we can scale up the business and can have a sustainable livelihood model, which feel the other lenders that this is another way of securing the loan. Second, we are not only limited to dairy, we are also putting up a solar fodder machines and other products as well. So that the women who will take care, she have a multiple, like a परचून का दुकान, परचूनी का दुकान में सब कुछ होता है. So she have a multiple product which she can get benefit, and people can see that the financing which is given to a women for the livelihood have a sustainability. So in this way, we are looking forward to the various lenders and other philanthropist people who can really serve the women and serve the nation. And we are only the bridge to build that capacity to the women and create such livelihood. So this is the way which I think.
Thank you. So one question still remains unanswered, and I think that we will leave it open for the audience and the larger ecosystem to answer. Popular livelihood sources will only get credible financing, right? A formal financing, because one thing that's coming out very clearly is when there is an ecosystem at play for established livelihood like dairy and all, it's very easy for financiers to fund, and for collectives to also seek funds. Probably when a value chain like pig farming comes across in a collectivized manner, the FPO plays that role, like what Sundarji rightly articulated. They do the training, they supply, they buy back, they empower and they educate. Likewise, in the case of Rudy Ben, union trains them, they come together as a collective, they learn together. So there is a role of a collective. So one thing that gets established from this panel today is when people come together as a collective, and one very powerful narrative from Access is when they aggregate under one community brand, there is very clear empowerment that happens and they attract finance. So the question that is open for all of us to solve for is what happens to the other livelihood opportunities that are rural enterprises and the rural farmers and other members needs to unlock. Probably in the next session, we may come with an answer and with a new set of players who have solved for it. So yeah, thank you everyone. And same as the last panel, we are running out of time. We can hear and learn from all of the players here on the panel on their examples and success stories outside of this room. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone.
I thank our moderator and panelists for their contribution to this enriching session and highlight the role of collectives as platforms for entrepreneurship, skill development, and enterprise creation. Now I would request my event team to please share a speaker's kit to our speakers, please. There is also a QR code for the feedback of the session. I would request you all to please scan the QR code and share your feedback. Please share your feedback via QR code.